Welcome to Bloomington Today. I'm Kaylin Cockrell. Thanks for joining us. The city of Bloomington is committed to finding new and sometimes uncommon ways to get residents out of the house and active. Today, we'll feature another Blue Cross Blue Shield to-do list, where we'll learn a thing or two about a new wave in golfing. You won't need your clubs or tees, but it's sure to be a hole-in-one. Take a look. Once the skis and snowboards are hung up for the season, Hyland Ski and Snowboard area repurposes their grounds to create an 18-hole disc golf tournament course. Disc golf is a sport growing in popularity that was formalized in the 1970s.
Disc golf is just like traditional golf. Instead of using clubs, though, you use flying discs, and instead of going to a hole, you go to a basket. Score is kept the same way as traditional golf, in the way that you have birdies and bogeys and pars.
Before I give disc golf a try for myself, April, why don't you tell me about the different kinds of discs you use when playing the game?
Like traditional golf, they use different kinds of clubs based on the holes. Frisbee golf has different kinds of discs. Based on the distance, they make a long distance driver and a distance driver. And once you get closer to the tee, they have putters, which are heavier and thicker, which you have more control over.
To start the game, each player throws a disc from a tee area to a target, which is the hole. Most disc golf holes are elevated metal baskets. Oftentimes, that first throw can be a long one. April tells us that is why seasoned disc golfers use different throws depending on the hole.
There's two different main ways you can start by throwing your Frisbee disc. There's a backhand, which comes across the front of the body, mostly for long distance shots. There's also a forehand throw. We're going to come across this way and flick the wrist. Once you're on the course and you're in the woods, there's a couple different ways you can throw it. You can stick with that backhand. Also, there's a tomahawk that comes up and over just like a softball that will help you clear it out some of those trees.
The object is to complete each hole in the fewest number of strokes, or throws in the case of disc golf. Let's watch April tee off on the first hole. Nice shot. Let's hope I put what I learned from April to good use. Trees, shrubs, and terrain changes offer challenges as a player moves from one hole to the next. And while disc golf courses are all different, Hyland Ski and Snowboard area has a lot of unique qualities that make it not only fun and challenging, but great exercise as well.
We love to play Hyland disc golf course because it's well maintained, and it also gives you maximum exercise because it climbs and descends through their ski hills, and it's a beautiful, challenging course.
Disc golf provides upper and lower body conditioning, aerobic exercise, while promoting a combination of physical and mental abilities that allow for very little risk of physical injury. Concentration skills also increase by mastering shots and negotiating obstacles. Great game, April. I can check disc golfing at Hyland off of our to-do list. Hyland Disc Golf Course is located at the ski and snowboard area at 8800 Chalet Road. A daily pass is just $5 and a seasonal pass is $35. If you haven't tried this rapidly growing twist on traditional golf, get out to Hyland today. And if after a game of disc golf you're still in the mood to be outdoors enjoying Bloomington's beautiful scenery, stop by Dwan Golf Club. Course maintenance employees have been busy making sure course conditions are impeccable for residents venturing out onto the greens, and one major project, which occurs twice a year, can be thanked for great conditions of the putting greens. Take a look. Between full-size mowers and hundreds of people walking across them daily, the putting greens at Dwan Golf Club see their fair share of traffic. This traffic causes the ground to become compact, which can affect not only the putting, but the overall play on any given hole. That's why Dwan uses an aerification technique on their greens every fall and spring.
It just lets it breathe. It allows the moisture to filter through as it's supposed to, and it also really helps with the root structure.
Aerification is a 4-step process at Dwan. The first step is pulling the plugs. This is accomplished by using a machine equipped with a row of hollow tubes that rapidly punctures the surface of the greens and pulls up a 2 to 3 inch plug of soil, thatch, and grass.
What we do in the spring is that we pull plugs. It's about a 2-inch plug, 2.5 inch plug. The root structure, if they stay together, it really shows you how good our root structure really is because they won't fall apart. It holds the moisture, holds the dirt.
When the plugs are pulled, the greens are littered with small tubes of soil. A machine with a plow-like attachment then comes through and collects the plugs and shoots them through an enclosed tunnel that connects to a storage bin on the back of the machine. These plugs are later recycled throughout the course in places where additional grass coverage is needed. Next, sand is dispensed onto the greens. The idea is to fill the bare holes with sand, also called top dressing. This will create air pockets, aiding in the relief of the compaction. Finally, that sand is smoothed out across the greens.
We'll drag it in, then we'll water it in. Within a week, you won't know we did it.
And with each step occurring simultaneously at various holes around the course, it's usually a process that can be completed in one day, which is a good thing because crews have lots to do on a daily basis, with much of the day being spent on one task.
We mow 6 days a week, greens. We mow fairways 3 times a week. We mow the rough 2 to 3 times a week, depending upon the weather. It's constant, and with the amount of play that we have, it's an all-day process. Groups always feel we only mow when they're here, but we mow all day, almost doing some mowing every day, all day.
CITIC calls aerification a necessary evil. While it may inconvenience a golfer for a day or two, the course will continue looking beautiful and playing even better all season long thanks to the process. With many acres of natural land, open space, and wetlands in Bloomington, there comes an abundance of wildlife, and this time of year, one animal is on the move. I'm talking about turtles. They move from lakes, ponds, wetlands, and rivers to nesting areas. Nesting areas and the turtles' winter homes are often separated by a road. Residents are asked to help reduce the road mortality for turtles as they make their way across streets by doing a few things. Allow the turtle to cross unaided if there is no oncoming traffic that might harm it. If you must move a turtle, always move it in the direction it had been traveling, using as little handling as possible. Finally, before backing a car out of a parking space, check around the vehicle. Oftentimes, turtles find their way into parking lots, get confused, and hide in the shade under your car. Minnesota has 9 different turtle species. If you see a turtle, slow down and drive around. As residents age, their physical ability to do things like golfing or play softball may become difficult, but with that comes the inability to do other things like household chores, raking leaves, or washing windows. That's where the HOME program comes into play. HOME is an acronym standing for Household Outside Maintenance for the Elderly, and through its partnership with City Human Services, has had the honor of serving Bloomington senior citizens for more than 30 years.
Our mission is to help older folks remain independent as long as possible by providing the chores they can no longer do for themselves.
The HOME program services 15 communities within Hennepin County, but the program originated at Creekside Community Center. In Bloomington alone, the HOME program serves more than 400 people on a variety of outdoor and indoor housekeeping tasks.
Window washing, raking, doing yard cleanup, and cleaning garages. And then we also hire homemakers to do house cleaning, which is getting the kitchens and bathrooms clean and vacuuming, dusting, and laundry and grocery shopping if needed.
Almost half of the service hours are contributed by volunteers, like on this day in late May, where a group of 4 students from Breck High School in Golden Valley took the time to help a Bloomington resident.
And it's really fun to hear how much they appreciate our help, and it's really rewarding and it's really fun.
And for longtime Bloomington native Clyde, this help doesn't go unnoticed or unappreciated.
I think it's really wonderful because we all reach that stage at one time or another.
Engel says because the home program began in Bloomington and is staffed out of Creekside Community Center, they've had the pleasure of getting to know hundreds of Bloomington seniors like Clyde over the past 31 years, and in turn kept many older people from having to leave their homes.
If they're able to keep up their home inside and out, then they mostly can stay in their home as long as possible. And only when they get seriously ill or have a major illness would they have to move. So with our help, they can stay much longer.
Engel also said that volunteers help make this nonprofit organization possible, and the home program is always looking for more residents to donate their time. If you know someone that might benefit from the household outside maintenance for the elderly program, call home at 952-888-5530 or stop in to Creekside Community Center, room 106. It's now time for a short break. When we come back, we'll be joined by a Blue Cross Blue Shield representative to discuss workplace wellness programs. Stay right here.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
All right, guys, we gotta be smarter about what we bite on, okay? I want everyone to go outside. We're gonna run Red Rover on 3.
What about you, Tony?
I'm gonna run around in circles, flatten my arms, and make engine noises like this.
When it comes to playing, we kids are the pros.
We're eating right, too.
We fuel up
To play 60!
Your school doesn't have a program? Be a leader. Start one.
Click today and join the movement.
Welcome back to Bloomington Today. We are now pleased to be joined by Linda Pulowski. Linda is a workplace wellness consultant with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Minnesota. Welcome to the show, Linda.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Good. Well, we're happy to have you. We'll just start right from the top. Blue Cross Blue Shield has been working hand in hand with the cities of Bloomington, Edina, and Richfield to formulate what's now known as the Dewtown campaign. Why don't you start by telling us a bit about that?
Well, Dewtown kicked off about 8 months ago. As you indicated, Blue Cross and the mayors of the 3 cities decided that it was a great time to help improve the health of the residents and guests of the 3 communities. And so we've been, again, working for 8 months on initiatives across the communities to improve health and to improve access to physical activity endeavors and healthy foods.
The easier those things are for residents to get their hands on, the more healthy, I guess, people will be.
Exactly.
Well, the month of June is National Employee Wellness Month. So what better time to implement some healthy work site goals? Because, you know, being healthy doesn't necessarily have to start at home. It can happen at work as well. Why don't you talk a bit about the program in place that is to assist companies with creating a healthier workplace?
We wanted to engage employers in this project, definitely, and across the 3 cities we have 22 employers that have come together in coalitions to learn more about how to improve the health and the environment within their workplaces to support employee health. So 11 of those employers are in Bloomington, and we've held 2 meetings thus far, and so employers literally are coming together to say, if I wanted to improve the health of my employees, how do I do this better and smarter? And what we have this tagline in the health community now, that is making the healthy choice the easy choice. Mm-hmm. And we also talk about creating a culture of health within the workplaces. And so what we've done so far is help employers assess their current workplace environment for workplace wellness. Then we gave them a report that tells them how well they're doing toward best practices. And right now, what employers are working on is talking with their leadership about the types of goals they'd like to set for workplace wellness. So we've taught them about the best practices, and there's really a buzzword in the community as well about policy and environmental changes in workplaces. So employers are thinking about improving the foods offered in vending, improving the foods offered in cafeterias. How can I make walking meetings a staple of our environment? So if I don't need a notebook and I just need to go on and walk and talk about a meeting that I just had or a conversation I just had with a client, I can go on a walking meeting to do that with a colleague. They're also talking about one of the big things I think is in the food arena is employers are really being conscious of what they serve at meetings and events, and how can healthy choices be a constant there. So those are the types of things we're doing with the workplaces.
That's very neat. Well, you know, you had mentioned healthier food choices. What are some other ways that workplaces can become more healthy through kind of utilizing these services provided by Blue Cross Blue Shield?
Yes, it all starts with a solid foundation. Anytime you offer workplace wellness initiatives, leadership support needs to be front and center. And when we're talking about moving away from more programs to a policy and environmental approach and the supporting environment that employees have, leadership really needs to, I guess, take hold of this new thought process of moving away from programs to more of the environmental approach. Beyond that, we also talk about other solid foundational pieces, like having a wellness committee or a workplace wellness vision statement, a wellness brand, and other things like that. So it starts with a solid foundation, with leadership being the cornerstone, and then building up from there.
Very cool, very cool. Well, creating a healthy work site is undoubtedly an investment, not just monetarily though. It really invests into the company's future. Why don't you expand on that a little bit?
Definitely. Certainly there's lots of research over the years that shows that investing in employees does have an impact, or can have an impact, on better management of healthcare costs, which employers are certainly still concerned about. It also reduces absenteeism, increases productivity, can reduce the workers' compensation costs. Plus, employers report quite often it improves employee morale. There's a better sense of camaraderie and teamwork, and so employers see lots of benefits by investing in workplace wellness. And the employers that we have now talk about they'd really like to engage their employees more in their health and wellness, and when you create that culture of health, the buzz goes around and individuals start to support one another in their healthy behaviors.
Absolutely. It sounds like the monetary investment is well worth kind of the outcomes that you get from it. You know, is there an ideal kind of company or work site that this consulting is ideal for? Are we talking big, small, metro, outstate? Who is this for?
You know, it's for any employer. We have worked with employers as small as 10 employees, up to employers, of course, in the thousands. And we, one of the employers that was 10 in size rented their office space, but was instrumental in creating a tobacco-free worksite policy. And while that isn't necessarily the purview of DewTown, we're focused more on physical activity and healthy eating, workplaces do look at tobacco support and tobacco cessation support for their employees as well. But we have helped employers of all sizes, and sometimes, you know, it's when you have a nice, close, tight-knit group within a 200, 300, 500 person office, you sometimes can see more results because you see so many of the employees on a regular basis. Certainly jumbo size or large size employers, it's important for them too, but they have some greater challenges with the number of locations that they have. But certainly employers of all sizes, this works well.
Great, great. Well, how can interested parties learn more about worksite wellness?
Yeah, there's worksite wellness. DewTown does have a website. It's www.dew-town.org. So check out the website. And there's lots of great things happening on DewTown on a community level as well. So people are encouraged to go to the website. There's a way to sign up to receive more information on work sites and other initiatives. So for example, if there is a community initiative to increase the number of farmers markets markets, to increase bike paths within the community, to help with neighboring school on safe routes to school. And safe routes to school is kids actively commuting to school, bike, walking, scooters, skateboards. So the Do Town initiative as a whole has so much going on. And each of the communities, for example, I think this is exciting to note, each of the 3 communities are looking at food procurement and especially improving the concessions at the pools and the golf courses and those types of things. So lots of great stuff happening for folks to get involved in.
Absolutely. And involvement is one of the key components to Do Town. It's all about interacting, two-way communication with the public and with the city.
Yeah, that's a great point. This is all about engaging constituents, engaging residents, engaging workers to say what is meaningful for me, for my health, and how can I help voice the types of things I'd like to see in my community, and how can I help work to meet those goals. And that is exactly what Do Town is about.
Wonderful. Okay, well, we'd like to thank Linda for being here with us today. As she said, if you have any more questions or things you'd like to learn about the Do Town campaign, please visit their website that you can see right here on your screen. It's now time for a short break. We'll be right back.
The American Legion honors our newest generation of warriors and veterans.
Please join us in supporting and recognizing their unique contributions and needs.
The unemployment rate among veterans is unacceptably high.
They are a proven commodity and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country.
Hire them. Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense.
They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom and to receive the best treatment and care we can provide.
Let's not forget our wounded warriors and their families as they return home. We cannot allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves.
They deserve more.
And let's honor the families who sacrifice so much every day.
As a service member serves,
so does the family.
Please join with the American Legion to find out how you can truly honor America's newest generation of veterans. Go to legion.org/honor-veterans to find out more.
Behind the wheel, there is no such thing as a small distraction. A public service reminder from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons. Speak out against distracted driving at decidetodrive.org.
Welcome back, everyone. It's now time for another City Faces segment. It's here we take a closer look into a day in the life of a city employee. Today, we'll be shadowing Public Works employee Jeff Lathrop.
I lived in Bloomington my whole life, and I grew up here.
For many city workers, their roots in this community run deep. Equipment operator Jeff Lathrop is an example of that. And as an employee of the Public Works street maintenance crew, his duties change with the seasons.
In the summertime, we do seal coating, crack sealing, pothole patching, utility patching. In the winter, we're doing a lot of, obviously, snow plowing, trimming trees. I mean, it varies so much.
And on a warm day in late May, we followed Jeff on the job while he and other street crew employees did some routine maintenance on a busy West Bloomington City roadway.
We were crack sealing. Crack sealing, you take the cracks in the road, you actually make them wider and deeper, and then blow them out, clean them out, and actually fill it with a rubberized material. It prevents moisture and water from getting in there and breaking up the road.
Jeff has worked for the city of Bloomington for nearly 8 years. He started as a seasonal employee and liked it so much he pursued full-time work. When asked how he spends his free time, Jeff said, without hesitation,
fishing. I love fishing. It's my favorite thing to do.
And while City Public Works is exactly where Jeff wants to be, he, like anyone, has a dream job.
I think it'd be pretty cool to be a pro fisherman. Own a sports team would be pretty awesome.
helping make our city better one street at a time. Jeff Lathrop, Street Maintenance Equipment Operator. And to step into the shoes of other city employees, visit Bloomington's YouTube channel, where you'll find lots of other City Faces segments. And that's all the time we have for today. To get more information on city projects, parks, road construction, and events, visit the city's website. To check out past Bloomington Today shows or other city productions, visit Bloomington's YouTube channel, accessible right from the city's homepage. That and so much more is online right now at www.ci.bloomington.mn.us. If Facebook or Twitter isn't your thing, sign up for eSubscribe to have updates sent right to your email or cell phone. This is Bloomington Today, a presentation of the City of Bloomington's Communications Division. I'm Kaylin Cockerill. Thanks so much for joining us.